For the first time in my 20 years of coaching and training and teaching strategies and scripts on how to get listings and how to find potential sellers and what to do to book listing appointments. For the first time in my 20 years, our request to talk to homeowners about selling their home is not selfish. What do I mean by that? Well, look around, guys. We have a serious problem. The serious problem is we really don't have enough homes for sale all over the country. I'm talking to agents who have historically, in their markets, have always had lots of inventory. All of the markets are constricted with low inventory. This is actually a problem. And so think about that for a hot second. If you've been in the business for a long time, like I have, we've always, these scripted strategies of, hey, have you thought about selling? And, we talked to a neighbor of a listing, and the reality is there was 4 other homes for sale in the neighborhood. And so it was a selfish request to say, have you had any thoughts of selling? Because I need another listing. So for the first time, it's not about us. This is about a problem and a market need that is very serious. So this is the best news ever. So I can take the handcuffs off of you and throw them away and say, go get the word out. Go talk to everyone, because it's not about you. It's not about you being a selfish person who wants another listing. We need to solve the problem that exists on the marketplace. This is the mindset that will allow you to go talk to more people and do better marketing. So let's dive into the 3 skills that we need to work on. Skill number 1 is how we define the problem. See, Tom hired Jay Abraham, one of the most influential and successful business coaches in the world. And at that meeting with a bunch of top agents, he said something that just hit me like a ton of bricks. He said, if you can define the problem better than the prospect or customer even understands it, then they will give you more trust and respect. So, how do you define the problem of low inventory? This is really what I'm seeing all the time. Everybody's like, low inventory, prices are up, I got buyers. Do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? We're not defining the problem at all well. So we need to, skill number 1, develop our ability to define the problem. Skill number 2, an amazing book written by Jonah Berger, who at the University of Pennsylvania School of Wharton Business School runs the marketing department. He wrote a book called Contagious. And in that book, he makes reference to this ingredient in marketing called social currency. So skill number 2 is how do we A, define the problem, but B, provide social currency. Now, what is social currency? So if I said to you today, hey, I just got a message from Brad Pitt's manager, and they wanted to book an appointment to go see a $50 million property down here in Del Mar on the beach. If I shared that with you, you'd probably turn immediately after this video to your wife or your spouse or your friend or a neighbor, and you'd say, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. I just heard that Brad Pitt's looking at a $50 million property in Del Mar down in San Diego. And then what would they turn around and do? They'd share it with this next person that they see. Hey, you're not going to believe this. I heard this thing. See, that is social currency. I gave you some information that has value, and so that you can actually go share with others, and they could share with others, and they could share with others. So the skill is not only can we define the problem better than anyone understands it, but then can we share some social currency that they can then go, wow, yeah, I never really thought about that. Yeah, you're right, that is kind of a problem. And then they can turn around and share it with their spouse at dinner tonight. And then their spouse is like, gosh, you're right, that is a problem. And then they could share it tomorrow at the office. Can you see how this could really bring back great opportunities to you? social currency. Skill number 3. This is a big thing that I've been telling everybody is we have to remove real estate industry language out of what we're doing. This phrase, low inventory. What the heck are you talking about? Are we talking about the toilet paper crisis, the low inventory of toilet paper at Walmart? See, the average person out there in the world, they don't understand this industry term low inventory. That's what you and I talk about. We talk about low inventory as real estate professionals. So skill number 3 is make sure that you remove some of this industry terminology and dumb it down for people. Another example of this is really the list your home, list your home. See, the average homeowner, what the heck does list your home mean? Do they say, hey, let's list our house? Or do they use the phrase on the market? We're thinking about going on the market in the springtime. See, that's a perfect example of industry language, listing versus what the consumer uses, which is, hey, we're going to go on the market. So this is something that you want to really talk about. So when you share a stat or you share the problem, don't say listings, say homes for sale on the market. So let me give you an assignment to be able to help you develop these 3 skills. Here's what we want to do. We want to do a little bit of research on what stats actually make sense. What stats really would connect with people and help them to understand really what we're talking about when we talk about low inventory. Also, do you have any stories or case studies that you can share that have helped people to understand what this means? Most of you have a story about a buyer that you've written numerous offers with, and they ended up writing an offer way over list price with outrageous terms, and they still didn't get it. And this is actually the 5th property you're writing an offer on for them. See, that is a dramatic story where I'm like, the average person is like, what? That's insane. And that helps them to understand how difficult this problem actually is. And for them to now have maybe a little social currency to say, oh, have you heard about this, to someone else? Is there any analogies that you can use, that you can practice and you can test with people? So assignment number 2 with these skills is to test. See, I would love to give you the perfect things to say right now to solve the problem with the social currency so that you can create all kinds of appointments. But the reality is all year long, we need to test, and be paying close attention to the response. What do I mean by this? I'll be telling my coaching clients this week, hey guys, here's what we need to do. You need to test a stat. Test a stat to see, does the person that you're talking to and sharing that stat, do they go, wow, or are they like, whatever? See, when they go, wow, that's so interesting, that's when you need to be like, okay, that stat worked. When you test out a story, did they go, oh my gosh, that's so interesting, or were they like, whatever, and they like actually walked away, which, sometimes we tell a story and that happens. So I need you actually testing to figure out what are the best stats, what are the best analogies, what are the best stories, and what's the best language, so that people, by the end of this summer, you literally have the absolute best of the best in your presentation so that we can create extraordinary results. Now, let's dive into the script. We obviously got to book some appointments. So when you're having conversation with someone, we got to create appointments. So there's 3 questions, maybe 3.5 questions, you'll see in a second. 3 questions that we can use. So one question, and thanks to Richard Stone, one of the best door knockers in San Diego, probably in the country, in the last decade. And he shared this little script with me. He said, have you heard any rumors of someone thinking of selling? So script number one, have you heard any rumors of someone thinking of selling? Script number two, big shout out to Tim Smith in Newport Beach, one of the best agents in the world, right? He had this script that Tom shared with everybody that I thought was brilliant. And in its script number two, he said, do you know anyone that tried to sell, yet for whatever reason was unsuccessful and took their home off the market? Great question, because most of the people that you know, one of their neighbors probably put their home up for sale, maybe took it down, especially when we think about COVID. So a variation of that would be, hey, do you know anyone that was going to sell, then COVID hit and they decided to wait? See, there's the variation, there's the 0.5. Last question in the 3 script series here is the question about to them. Now, shout out to Richard Stone. He helped me with this upfront phrase. He said, within the next 2 years, have you had any thoughts of selling? Now, I love the within the next 2 years because what that does is it eliminates the commission breath out of the equation and makes it more of a conversation about exploring the topic of selling. Great script. All right, so now I've got you. You want to get this word out. So Patrick, how do we market this message and create more appointments? I want more listings. I know you do. So here's what I'm talking to all my coaching clients about. They're saying to me, well, should I do a Facebook post? Yes. Well, should I do a live? Yes. Well, should I do something on Instagram, like a IGTV or a story? Yes, yes, yes. Should I do something, maybe an article on LinkedIn? Yes. Should I do a YouTube video about? Yes. Should I send a letter to my? Yes. Should I send a pigeon? Yes. Should I do a ringless voice? Yes. Should I write an email? Yes. You get the picture? See, here's your assignment. It's a challenge. What I'm wanting is, how could you get this message, this conversation in front of as many people as you possibly can on all of the different channels and all the different little unique ways? How can you get this out in the maximum way so that you get the most opportunities to have the conversation and to book listing appointments? That's the challenge. Now, if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification yet on this YouTube channel, please do that so you can be alerted of new videos, because I'm going to cover all the next videos on this topic and elaborate on all the different strategies. If you're not an avid YouTube person, then shoot me an email and just let me know that you would like me to notify you of the next videos, so that I'll just send those to you so you can just watch it from there. I'll also, if you send me an email, just grab my email down below in the description box. If you send me an email and you say, hey, keep me notified of how to get listings, I'll send you my notes from today's session. Now, on with the bonus point. Here is the reason why most of the marketing that we've been doing in the last 5 years is part of the problem why we have low inventory. Here you go. Here's the thing that I've seen most of you know. All of our marketing is about why me, why now, and more why me. And list with me now, and give me a call now, and are you ready to sell? Are you ready to sell? Now, 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 me, me, me. All of our marketing is so much about why now and why me. It's so selfish. And the customers, the consumers, homeowners today actually don't want to call you, don't want to talk to you about it, because they think in their mind that all you're going to do is come over there and give them a listing presentation as to why they should sell today, right now, with me. See, this is the problem, is we're not offering people the opportunity to have coffee to discuss their plans, to give me a call and let's talk about what's going on with the market and what you guys are thinking about. And we're not saying, hey, let's talk about the options today. What can you do? How could you do it? We're not identifying the different demographics. You know, there's the downsizers, there's the trade uppers, there's the absentee owners. So there's all these different categories, and people are literally, they're staying away from you because your marketing is too aggressive about why you and why now and you did it again. See, because no one cares. So it's actually working against us. So in this series, as we dive into every lead generation strategy for getting listings, on the next video, we're going to talk about how to find the next listing in the neighborhood of your existing listing or the one you just sold. So in this process, I'm going to start sharing with you the framework that I've developed of how to master any lead source. So we'll go through all of the lead source. I'll introduce you to that framework so that you can get the maximum amount of results and develop consistency in your lead generation system. So send me that email if you want my notes and you want to be notified, and or subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the Just Listed, Just Sold training session next.